will say your party is disgruntled, that look at what happened in Nasarawa, that one of the leaders of your party was stripped naked, that's a show. Can you hear me? Mr. Okechukwu, can you hear me, sir?
Hey, Rufai don't turn person papa upside down. I remember I watch the video, when I me share this video. I use God beg you, just share this video for me. Maybe we watch the video together. Hey!
Welcome back to the morning show. We still have Mr. Okechukwu, All Progressive Congress Party Chieftain and Director General of Voice of Nigeria. Pleasure to have you. Two things. A lot of people say there's a lot of infighting in your party. Members are disgruntled. There was something that happened in Nasarawa State, which a lot of people call the show of shame. A top leader in your party was stripped naked. What is going on? Secondly, and this is most importantly, in 2015, running up to the elections, your party campaign, the APC campaign, promised Nigerians 3 million jobs every year. That means after 8 years, 8 times 3, we're expecting 24 million jobs. Where are those 24 million jobs? And you juxtapose that with the fact that the last time the National Bureau of Statistics released report, Q4 2020, says we have 33% unemployment rate. Do you know what that means? I'll tell you what it means. It means Nigeria is the third country with the highest unemployment rate in the world. But till date, in over 2 years, they've not released unemployment numbers. Some people have said, if they release unemployment numbers today, Nigeria may be the country with the largest unemployment numbers in the world as we speak. Where are the 24 million jobs your party promised? What happened in Nasarawa State? 2 questions, sir.
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying that we envisaged that Nigeria will enter into such a ditch because the 16 years of the PDP, when we had oil windfalls, it was not well managed. Then we cast our mind to the 1986 Structural Adjustment Program, and where veteran academics, Professor Nzimiro, Bodonumade, Balausman and others, Patrick Wilmot, they warned us. And that was when Mr. President came to power, on November 2015, he launched the Anchor Borrowers Program, a farming program that took government support back to the peasants, or what they call small-scale farmers. Yes, along the line, the insecurity had thwarted all we committed, but we still achieved. And on the security that thwarted our program, what did we do? We went back to look for sophisticated ammunition. And my brother, who said it takes a long time for America to approve, or even to any country in the world, and those equipment were not bought in shells. What happened? Luckily, because of the diplomatics of Mr. President, we were granted support. It took some 2 or 3 or 4 years for them to arrive, like the Super Tucano jets and the helicopters and other equipment I cannot mention here. Have we improved on the fight against insecurity? We have. It's not a one-day matter. If we are given an opportunity with what we have on the ground, immediately you could demolish insecurity. You return back the people to the land, and first and foremost, as Mr. President promised, then Nigerians will produce what they eat. And nobody, I've gone through all the manifestos, both out of His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, a man I have great respect for, both out of P2B. There's nothing you will do except what we have done. You will start with we will continue the Anchor Borrowers Program. You will continue irrigation program. You will continue the dam process. You will continue infrastructure revolution. And you will get back to the Western world. Or if you want, you can go to Russia and procure more equipments. And those equipment are not bought off shelf. So you people should understand, did we have the commitment? Yes. Have we invested? Yes. We did in all corners. And it's coming to fruition. If you lay a foundation, nobody in the fullness of time will deny the fact that President Muhammadu Buhari had not laid foundation in agricultural revolution. had not laid foundation in infrastructure, had not laid foundation in protecting the country security-wise. Because he believes the sovereignty belongs to the people of this country, from whom any government will drive his powers. That's why he's now giving the last legacy, the vote rigging vaccine, where he's warning us that we should organize, because he's not going to dole out any federal might. And we are aware of that. He started back in 2017. We had a good candidate, Dr. Tony Woye in Anambra, who went to Mr. President. Mr. President said, go and do your best. I'm not going to use federal might for anybody. And the day he came to Oka for campaign was the day they whispered to him that the security officers deployed to the then governor Obiano had been withdrawn. Instantly, he called the DIG around and said, return the police officer to Obiano. He must be protected. Election is different from his protection. We went to Edo. He did not use federal might. PDP won. Up to 2022, we went to Oshuel. A lot of people thought we would deploy the federal might. Mr. President did not deploy that. So he had laid a foundation of growth. He had brought us to where it's better you vote for APC so that we continue where we stopped. We have made friends across the globe. If you disconnect us, it will take time to fix it back. So APC had done.
A group led by Professor Yusuf, Mahdi Shehu, and Ladan Saliu issued a statement saying that Northerners should not vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And they went straight ahead to endorse the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party. And their argument is that the APC has not done well in 8 years, and it's not good to reward a party that has not done well. Second, they said it's not good for somebody running a Muslim ticket to take over. And more importantly, they accuse your candidate of being incompetent and battling with health issues. Well, I mean, people can make their own choice, but what do you say in response? But they say the candidate of the PDP has pedigree and has very strong experience in managing the economy, having been part of the Obasanjo economic team as vice president.
Thank you very much, veteran Ruby, and incisive Rufai, and our sister Ayo. On your question, for God's sake, what do you expect those my compatriots to be saying when they are not members of the APC? What they said is not a surprise to some of us. That the North, they are still talking about the North, while majority of the Northerners are saying that there is a rotation convention, that after President Muhammadu Buhari, that the power should shift to the South. So that after the 8 or 4 years in the South, that it should come back to the North for fairness, equity, and justice. So if somebody do not talk of justice and equity, Kuchi Atiku himself knows. His Excellency Abubakar Atiku is an experienced and veteran politician. He knows that in 2018, his fellowship and membership of the People's Democratic Party in their own wisdom at Porakot, all these Southerners, not that they are not qualified. Even Governor Wike that hosted them, they hosted the PDP convention in Porakot, and no Southerner picked the ticket to aspire to become presidential candidate then, because they said it's the turn of the North. In 2014, for instance, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar joined the other patriots in leaving the PDP arena on the same count that there is a zoning convention, a covenant for fairness, justice, and peace of our good country, the country of Nigeria. Atiku bolted with the 5 governors of the PDP and joined us in APC, which enhanced our victory. And luckily for the APC, 5 governors had also seen the reason that His Excellency Atiku had joined to be good for the country. Because if there's no country, for God's sake, we're talking of presidency. You can only preside over the country. That's why President Muhammadu Buhari, in his own wisdom, is a reinforcing commitment that for him, he had enacted the vote rigging vaccine. And the Northerners I know, if you ask my friend, the chairman of APC Governors Forum, His Excellency Atiku Bagudo of Kebbi State, well, he said because he's from Kebbi State, that Atiku is his friend, he will jettison the fairness. Will Malame Rufai in Kaduna, or Ganduje. Don't forget that APC, as of today, we have 21 governors, and we have 5 friendly governors, for God's sake. If we are talking of one man, one vote, and going by the vote rigging vaccine, where the sovereignty, President Muhammadu Buhari had taken the sovereignty back to the country, I do not blame those who are saying, okay, the North should vote. Atiku even said so himself, though he regretted that that was an overstatement, an overreach for a statesman of his stature with a cover by his side as in a ticket telling the not to vote for Yoruba and not to vote for Igbo. We have heard those stories before, but luckily for our dear country, majority has the consensus that there should be a rotation convention for fairness, justice, and equity. So I do not bother myself for those who are saying that. They should continue saying so, but if they go back to their villages, the villagers will tell them that that is not right, that we must preserve our dear country. We have no other country than this one. No matter if you go to America, there's a height you can get to and you can't climb further. This is the only country where all of us can aspire to be president. And in our own wisdom, since the Fourth Republic, we came to the inevitable conclusion that there should be rotation. So anybody who consciously is breaching the rotation convention is either a stomach infrastructure pursuit, or rather he might have something to settle about another person. As per Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what nobody can deny him that he knows the onion. He knows the gravitas, he knows the country, and he has come a long way. We're not bothered about APC, no, about PDP, for instance. Atiku had lost his base. We are more bothered about P2B and others. And Kwankwaso, we are trying to tell the North that the zoning convention, we know Kwankwaso is qualified and highly capable, but Kwankwaso is riding against the storm of zoning convention. So if you tell us about P2B, then we can say, okay, that's where we're worried, but not about Atiku, who has lost his base. Atiku cannot. All right. I challenge those who are saying so. He cannot harvest the Buhari's 12 million votes. Okay. He can't. He doesn't have the Buhari vote bank.
Mr. Okechukwu, it's great to hear you say that the APC is admitting that Peter Obi, Labour Party's Peter Obi, is a contender, because some of your surrogates in the past have said that he wouldn't, in fact, your presidential candidate said that he wouldn't mention his name because he doesn't see him as a competition. That aside, let's talk about internal wranglings within the APC, since you said that they would say that because they are members of the opposition party, which is the PDP. Only recently, we had the northern APC leaders come out to say that they were not going to support the APC presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Instead, the Babache Lawal camp, who is the former secretary to the Federation, government of the Federation, said that he was going to pitch his tent with Mr. Peter Obi, whilst Honorable Yakubu Dogara says that former House of Rep Speaker has said that he's going to pitch his camp with Atiku Abubakar. put that side by side with the president saying that the strong point for the APC to win at next year's election is unity. What do you say about these internal wranglings, and then do you think it would open up more for other such wranglings in the future within the APC?
My sister Ayo, presidential campaign or any electoral campaign is the feast of democracy. In any feast, you might see people dancing, and the drummers as well had to have different tones. The dancer had to have different tones. But I'm saying, if you cast your mind before we went to the primaries in June, the APC northern governors collectively issued a statement that we are qualified to contest, but we have looked at it, that President Muhammadu Buhari is coming from our side, and it will be unfair if we contest. And I have not heard any of those governors. I've been with some of them. I've been to Kebbi the other day, and I was there when the leader of the APC Governors Forum, His Excellency Atiku Bagudu, was having a meeting with some of the APC governors. I didn't even hear about whisper that any of them is saying they will support Tinubu. So for those who look towards Dubai, that His Excellency Atiku Abubakar just returned from Dubai, and that there might be some stomach infrastructure of food that is ready. I do not blame them. Everybody needs to take care of his family. It depends on how you decide that. For Dogara attended a meeting of Northern Christians, and he didn't win the day. I agree that he can go to Atiku, but he knows his consistency in Bauchi. He cannot pick a vote for Atiku in that side of the country. So that's why I told you that if we have any challenger, it is P2B. It's not about His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar cannot eat his cake and have it. He was in an interview yesterday. He said he doesn't know Boko Haram. He said he deleted Deborah's tweet because he did not authorize the tweet. So after he had looked into the tweet, was he wrong to condemn the mother of Deborah? An undergraduate that is trying to find his future, studying economics, a future mother, a future wife, her life was nipped in the bud. Has he studied the tweet? He went to Kaduna, told a very brilliant northern sophisticated, one of the most sophisticated group in the country, don't vote Yoruba, don't vote Igbo. So we're not challenged by Atiku in the list. It's not our headache. We know him, he knows us.
Me sef, my chest go dey beat. This guy no dey look person face o. Yeah? See the way to fight a stand, ask this man question. The man sef know say na man dey ask am question. See this, in short, I just pray make nothing happen to this guy, because with Rufai we are good to go. As a country, as a nation, as a prospective nation, with Rufai we are good to go. With Rufai, Nigeria will develop. With Rufai, we'll get the best set of leaders. With Rufai, no matter who wins the presidential election in 2023, that person must sit up. Because Rufai, Rufai no dey condone nonsense. Hey, you know dey condone nonsense. This guy na, as in, whoever trained Rufai in school deserve an award. That person, I dey give you hand. In short, I wan go read about this guy, this Rufai guy. This guy na material. This is somebody's father very soon. I mean, maybe don't already be father self. As in, this guy is his brain, and he has mind. He's ready to get. Oh God, I'm so glad listening to him. I feel so glad watching him. Just everything. Fine, well done.